I just had my first podcast ever in my life, and I want to share with you exactly what's been in this podcast and what's the three main lessons that I learned from this podcast. And I want to share with you also how am I going to implement it in my own business, how I think you can, generally speaking, implement it in your own life. So you're going to see the podcast soon. It's going to be like in a week from now, maybe even before. The podcast was with a 29-year-old person that I've just met first time in my life. His name is Yogev. He's a startup founder, already been coding since the age of 12. And he tried to open up a startup 4 years ago that was basically blockchain investing for creators. So let's say you're a creator, you sell a part of your company, let's say $100, $200, whatever it is, according to the revenue that you bring in as a creator, and then a person like me or anyone in the street can buy from you a part of your content creation. That money goes to the creator, then he can spend it on better equipment, and it's all under blockchain. Kind of like stocks, but for blockchain, right? Like combination of NFT, crypto, stocks, etc. It's a great concept. He funded $250,000 for it, but he failed after 2 years. He decided that this thing is not for him anymore, and then he kept on going to something else. Now, when I asked him questions about this startup and why I think it failed, he told me a lot of lessons. But I think the three most interesting ones, those are the ones that I want to share with you, and those are the ones we're going to see here today. So, number one, as a salesman, I completely understand it, and I learned how to do it as well. But it's very interesting to see that for people who hasn't been salesmen, don't get it enough at least, is talk to your customer. So, what exactly does he mean by it? Well, when he first launched his company, this startup for the content creation, blockchain investing, he didn't really know what his customers are looking like, right? Because he had a business that is a B2C to B2B to C. Basically, B2B is business to business, and then it goes to a customer. So that's the C part. So B2B to C basically means that he sells to the businesses, right? And then the businesses sell to the customer. So what he's doing is selling creators to come be part of his platform, to basically put themselves out to the public to sell part of their content creation to be a stock in the blockchain, and then he sells it to consumers to be able to invest in them. Now, we didn't really know either what the business want, what the creator wants, or what the customers want, like what exactly are they looking for in order to make money out of. And it was very interesting to see that he said that his number one problem, the number one thing that he will do differently, and he's doing differently right now in the next startup that he does, which you will see in the podcast. It's a very interesting concept, that he didn't talk to the actual clients. He should have, according to him, come to the investors or come to the people that are investing, to the C part, and ask them, what are you looking to get from it? I mean, of course you're looking to get money out of it, everybody is, but what exactly are you looking to get from the platform? How does the platform need to look like? What do you think will be a good interface? How exactly do you think it should work? How exactly do you think that, what creators will you be interested in? Will you be okay to invest in people that are in the fitness industry, even though only you care about this philosophy or business? Whatever it is. And also, of course, the business, the people that are actually creating the content. What kind of content are you doing that you want to sell? How exactly do you want that money to go to? What exactly do you want the platform to provide you with? What is exactly the goal for you to even put yourself out of the public? What are you afraid of that will happen if you put yourself to the public? Will you be okay if people dictate you for what kind of content you will do? For instance, what I'm thinking right now is you can open a business where the B, basically the content creator, tells the consumers, okay, you want me to do ABCD? I'll do ABCD for you if you give me X amount of money as part of my blockchain. Let's say right now, exactly like a director of a company, a person that owns 20% out of Tesla can fire Elon Musk if he wishes to. Why? Because he's a big part of the directorial. He's basically allowed to do actions inside of the company. So maybe it will be the same for people that own a big part of the content creators blockchain scheme. So that's number one. Very interesting concept. Talk to your clients. Again, as a salesman, I completely get it, because the only and most important job of a salesman is to ask questions. So of course I get it. Number two, very interesting lesson that he said was the whole idea of burnout. We talked a lot about the idea of burnout and exactly what does it mean and how does it feel to be burned out. And it's very interesting to see that there is a big difference for him from being burnt out to just be hardworking. So what exactly is the difference that he's talking about? Well, He said that being burnt out is basically having no meaning. Okay, so the meaning of your work is disappeared. And just working hard is keep working hard exactly as you are when you're doing the burnout, but the only difference that right now you have meaning. So there is a reason for you to wake up in the morning. There is a reason for you to do something. So a person that works 16 hours a day can have meaning in his life, and then he will not be burnt out. And a person that has no meaning can even work 8 hours a day and still be burnt out because what he's doing has no meaning for him. Now, according to him, from what he says in his startup, when he began, he had a lot of meaning for it. It really seemed interesting. It seemed something that he wants to do. It seemed something that he wants to wake up in the morning to and keep on pushing harder and harder and harder. But as time went by and as time went through, he started to see that there is nothing really interesting that he's doing there. And he didn't really see the end goal or the reason that he's even doing it. And the second that the meaning was lost, all of a sudden the whole idea of waking up in the morning and working so hard disappeared. And that's when the burnout happened. Now, what exactly did he describe as a burnout? He said that burnout is basically the feeling where you feel sort of depressed from all of the hard work that you're doing. You're basically feeling that there is, of course, depression is the idea of waking up in the morning and having no meaning, but specifically for the business that you're working in, specifically for the thing that you're doing. Because burnout, unlike depression, can be cured by being with family, by being with friends, by doing something that you like, by going into nature. You can feel a relief from the idea of burnout. In depression, you don't really, it's kind of chronic. So that's something very interesting I found in his podcast as well. The number 3 interesting thing that I found, which for me was very, very interesting to think about, because that's not really something that I still encounter in my own business, but it is something that I will almost 100% sure will encounter in, is the whole idea of market fluidity. Now, this is a big word. It doesn't really mean a lot for people who not in the industry. What exactly does it mean, market fluidity? Well, the idea of market fluidity is basically moving your business and moving the business model and moving yourself according to what the market requests, according to what the market does. So in his startup, for instance, he said that he made good money, a little bit of good money. He made a few hundreds of dollars a month from the business up, like as time went by, right? Like in the first year, and in the second year he made a bit more, etc., etc. And then all of a sudden, something that we all know about, ChatGPT came into town. And all of a sudden, his business that was making a few $100s a month and investors were pouring money into had no meaning anymore. All of a sudden, this AI, LLM models took all of the capital and all of the interest, and everything was shoved into that. Now, of course, this is something that he couldn't control. He cannot prevent the creation of ChatGPT. But what he could have done is very quickly adapt, understand how can he take his concept and use a wrap, or use something that controls with control of LLM and of ChatGPT or AI, and that way make his platform very interesting again, and something that investors and people will want to invest in. But he said that he just kept on pushing with the hand towards the wall with this concept alone, without really thinking of, oh, well, how can I use this thing? How can I use the fluidity of the market in order to really make my business better? Now, it's something that we encounter in everything that we do in business, in life, anything. So I want to take those 3 concepts and really show you how I'm going to apply them in my own business, and also maybe help you to realize how can you implement them into your own life. So the first one we talked about was asking questions, really understanding who you're talking to, who are your clients. The second one was the whole idea of burnout. How does it feel to be burnt out? What exactly does it mean? What's the difference between that and hard work? And the third one was fluidity. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you first how I'm gonna implement it into my own business, and then I'm gonna show you how I think we can all implement it into our lives. So asking questions, this is actually a concept that I also got from my Russell Brunson video. You can watch this video over here, or over here. I don't know exactly where it's gonna show, but this is about the idea of asking your clients exactly what it is, and the funnel that I built, which you can answer also in the description below, about the number 1 question that you have about dropshipping and Etsy by other people, the number 1 question they have about their business, and really understand what your customers are looking for. The example that Russell Brunson gave is that he had a potato gun, which was basically shooting potatoes when he was, I think it was when he was 22 or 23, I don't remember really the age that he was doing it. And he said that a lot of people ask him like, how do I know that the potato gun will not kill me? What kind of hose do I need to use? What kind of potatoes do they use, etc., etc. And he took all of the answers to those questions and he made content by it. So if someone asks him, how can I know that a potato gun will not kill me? He will make a mail, how to make sure that your potato gun will not kill you. My perfect technique to make sure that your hose is the same. The right length to make sure that the potato gun will shoot as far as possible, etc., etc. So asking questions is very important for what I'm doing with the number one question you can answer down below. And also, of course, while time going by, which is something I thought about during the podcast, as we keep going, keep asking people how do they feel. What do they feel that we need to be different? We need more WhatsApp support, more AI integrated, more Photoshop help, more techniques, more teachings, whatever it is that they feel to make the product better. That's what I'm going to implement into the business. Now you can use it in your own life about everything. Ask your partner what they think they need better. Ask your parents what do you think they need better to be a better kid. Ask yourself what you need to be better in order to be a better person to yourself. Asking questions is the most powerful tool we have because the answers are not always foreseen if the question is not clear enough. Number two that I thought about was burnout. I work, as I said a lot of times before, between 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. And many times, Maria also justifies, can testify that I'm very impatient. I'm very, I don't know if annoyed is the right term, but I'm impatient. I feel like something is already going on. I really feel like I need to go all the time. I always say, yalla, 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 let's go somewhere, which in Arabic means let's go. I'm always on the edge. And sometimes I feel like the reason that I'm on the edge is because I feel like I'm exhausted already. I cannot deal with life anymore. So I always have to bring more and more and more stuff into the system in order to forget about the pain and the pressure. Now this whole idea of burnout is very interesting because the second you're burnt out, none of your business ventures will be nearly as good as they can be when you're energized, obviously, because your whole systems are shut down. So I'm trying to understand with myself after this podcast, when exactly do I feel that I'm burnt out? And when exactly do I feel like I'm just working really hard? Which is a very interesting concept that I want to implement in my own life. And of course, this is something that you can implement also for yours. Do you feel like you wake up in the morning and there is a reason for what you do? Do you feel like you wake up in the morning and you're just doing shit? Really understand if you're burnt out or you're just working hard. And if you're just working hard, keep working hard. If you're burnt out, try to see exactly what is the reason and why you don't have meaning and adjust your life accordingly. And fluidity, this is something I'm also thinking about because Etsy is not really something that exists for thousands of years, obviously. It's a platform that exists for 20 years. And the platform all the time changes. Therefore, also the course will have all the time to change. And of course, because I'm working in a market that I've never worked in before, as the Philippines, I always have to change the way I'm marketing, the way I'm doing business, etc., etc. So the fluidity side is to always look at things from the back, always look at things from the top and think, okay, is the business going as I planned it to do, or is there something that I need to improve in the business, something that I need to change in order to make the business fit the platform where I'm working at? And this, of course, is also something that you can ask in your own life all the time. Do you feel like the life you're living right now is the life that you expected to live 3 years ago? Or right now, obviously, right? If you feel it is not, what do you need to do in order to change your life to be the way you are? If you live the life that you wanted to live 3 years ago, but you still feel that the life you're working right now is not good, then ask yourself, okay, I'm fluid. 3 years ago, that's what I wanted. Right now, I don't want it, so go ahead and change it. Of course, this is just a summary, and the podcast was way longer with many, many, many more questions and answers. It was a really fascinating podcast. I really enjoyed. Hope you guys will enjoy this as well. Again, I'm putting here again the link for the asking questions of the book review about Russell Brunson, The Expert Secrets, and down below you have the asking question. Please go ahead and answer that because it will really help me to answer the asking questions and even the fluidity part, so you will really help me out. If you will do it, you will also get a availability to the live that we're doing for all of the people that answering the number one question to really learn more about dropshipping and Etsy. It's gonna be like a 2 hours live. We already built the content there and filmed a few video. There's even an extra surprise in there if you'll really join there, so it's a good thing to do. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this and it helped you as well, and go watch the podcast.